Hey everyone, it's Christine Patney with Premier Mortgage Lending. Welcome to another episode of Casual Questions with Christine, a long name for kind of a short episode, but today I just wanted to do a quick episode and talk a little bit about rent versus buy. It's kind of a big thing lately. A lot of my friends have expressed some concern about should I rent, should I buy? So I wanted to share some of the pros and cons, which may help you understand it a little bit better, and then talk very briefly about some numbers that we can talk through in more detail for each specific situation. But from a renting standpoint, in terms of pros and cons, obviously it's a very flexible situation, right? You can have a lease, whatever, a year-long lease, 6 months, whatever it is, you can move anytime. Sometimes it's a little bit too flexible in the sense that your landlord could decide to sell. And this is what I've been seeing a lot of lately is, the landlords are taking their equity, selling their properties, and then the new landlord doesn't want to continue with the new tenants for whatever reason, usually because the rents have gone up and they want to get a little bit of a higher rent. So those are a pro and a con, kind of the same thing. Kind of similar to the maintenance issue, right? If you're renting, you don't have to pay for maintenance. You don't have to worry about fixing things or anything like that. But if you're owning, you do have to worry about those things. But you can also do that however you want. So if something breaks and you want to replace it with something nicer, or if you, for example, landscaping, if something happens there and you want to make your landscaping a little nicer, you can do whatever you want because you own the property. There's always the painting of walls and things like that people sometimes want to do in their homes versus in their rental apartments as well. And of course, we would have to talk about the equity building, right? So if you own a home, it's a long-term investment. You're building up equity over time rather than paying your landlord's mortgage. So I saw something the other day, it said something like, stop paying your landlord's mortgage. And I was like, oh, that's good. Except for my tenants, they can stay. I love them. You guys can stay. But if you are renting and you're paying your landlord's mortgage, there's a good chance you could pay your own mortgage. So that brings me to the numbers aspect of it. I've seen a lot of people looking for apartments, and some of these apartments, they're more than my mortgage, right? So obviously there's other costs involved with a mortgage because, as we mentioned earlier, we've got to pay for the maintenance and things like that. But ultimately, if you want to go through those numbers, we can talk through them, break them down, talk about what your principal portion is going to be, what your property taxes are going to be, your homeowner's insurance, which is one that tends to be forgotten. So we can go through all of those numbers and we can really show you the price difference between renting or owning and what type of property you can get for the same amount of rent that you're paying. So if you are interested in buying a home, I know not everybody is, but if it is something that's been in the back of your mind, it makes sense to just give me a call, shoot me a message, and we can go through the numbers and see if it makes sense for your situation. So thanks for watching this episode of Casual Questions with Christine. Stay tuned for the next episode. I appreciate you all, and I hope you have a great day.